In this video, I'm going to discuss accruals, which is one of the types of adjusting entries. And for accruals, you just need to recall your accrual basis, which states two things. Number one, revenue is recognized when earned, and number two, expense is recognized when incurred. Another word for incurred is used, and these two, they are applied regardless of cash. Meaning, collection or no collection, revenue is recognized when earned. Payment or no payment, expense is recognized when incurred. To appreciate, I will be giving sample. I'll start with the first. Revenue is recognized when earned. Assume this transaction. On July 15, A received a 10,000 pesos, 10%, 6-month note from B. Give the adjusting entry on December 31. Here, you can do the initial entry first and then do the adjusting entry. For the initial entry, it's July 15, and there is a receiving of note here. So, you will be debiting notes receivable, right? And then for the credit, it can be any account title. The important thing is, you debited notes receivable in your initial entry, and that's 10,000. The initial entry is correct, so you don't need to do correcting entries later on. But this entry needs to be updated at year end. Not necessarily the account titles used, but the implication of this recording. Because come December 31, there will be a problem. And the problem is with the interest income. Where is the interest income? From the note received from B. So come December 31, for sure, you will be recognizing the income following the accrual basis. So here, you will be crediting interest income. And since there is no payment yet from the issuer of note, you will not be debiting cash yet, but only recognize a receivable pertaining to the interest that has to be paid by the issuer. So, you will be debiting interest receivable. And this is like the pro forma already of the adjusting entry. You will be debiting a receivable and crediting income or revenue. And then for the amount, you just have to recall your interest formula. It's principal times rate times time. For the principal, it's 10,000 given. For the rate, 10% given. And then for the time, you don't write 6 months. Why? Because from July 15 to December 31, you only have 0.5 for July, August, September, October, November, December. So that's only 5.5 months. Having computed the number of months, you will not be writing 6. Because if you write 6, you will be accruing income that should be accrued next year pa. So you will just have to write 5.5, not 6. 5.5 over 12. You don't write 5.5 because if you just write 5.5, that's 5 years and 6 months. So you need to divide 5.5 by 12. And the answer here is 417. I rounded up the answer. So that's the amount in the adjusting entry. So this is our adjusting entry. What if we change this one to 3 months? What will happen? So if you change that to 3 months, you will just have to change this part because the computation will be different. So again, get your formula. Interest equals principal times rate times time. So principal is 10,000. Rate is 10%. And then for time, you don't write 5.5 months. Just because you know that from July 15 to December 31, you have 5.5 months. Again, you are just given a 3-month note. So the maximum period covered for that note in terms of interest would just be for 3 months. Since you're able to cover the entire period for the note, you will be recognizing the 3-month revenue. So here, under time, you will be writing 3 over 12. It should be 3 over 12, not 3. Because if you write 3, that's 3 years interest. So you divide the 3 by 12. The answer here is 250. So in the amount, instead of 417, you will be writing 250. Now what if this is 9 month? If that is 9 month, the answer is 417 still. Why? Because again, you can only cover the interest for 5.5 months this year. Alright? So having used 5.5 months this year, come next year, you still have 3.5 months worth of interest income. Knowing that the amount in the adjusting entry is 417 in both cases, what now is the difference? The difference will happen next year, because next year, if the note is 6 months, you will only accrue for half a month. Unlike with 9 months, where you will be accruing revenue next year for 3.5 months. So I hope you get the idea on how to work on the duration of the note given. By the way, in this transaction, we are using the point of view of A, being the receiver of the note. So with that, let's jump to the second one. Expense is recognized when incurred. So assume the transaction on July 15, C issued a 20,000 12% 6-month note to D. Give the adjusting entry on December 31. So this time, you are the one issuing the note, not the one receiving it. So what's your entry on July 15? Being the issuer of the note this time, you will be crediting notes payable. In your debit, it can be any account title because we are missing some information. And then the amount is 20,000. You are tasked to do the adjusting entry on December 31. Although the initial entry is correct, it has to be updated at year end because there is a problem in terms of the interest expense, no, for that notes payable that you have. So you are looking for the interest expense come year end because you are following the accrual basis. With that, you know for sure that in the adjusting entry, you will be debiting interest expense. And since you will not be paying yet this year, instead of crediting cash, you will credit interest payable. And this is now the pro forma of the adjusting entry for accruals related to expenses. You will be debiting expense and then credit payable. And then for the amount, you just apply your interest formula. It's still the same with the last one. We are just changing the point of view. This time, you are the one issuing the note. Earlier, you are the one receiving. So, interest again, formula, principal times rate times time. Your principal this time is 20,000. Rate is 12%. Time is, again, you don't write 6 because from July 15 to December 31, that's 5.5 months as we computed earlier. So you write 5.5 over 12. The answer is 1,100. And this is the amount in your adjusting entry. Let me just recap. If there are accruals that have to do with revenue in the adjusting entry, you will be debiting a receivable and then credit income or revenue. If it has to do with expense, you will be debiting in the adjusting entry expense and then credit payable. And still under expenses, you might encounter something like this. So you are given the utility in December that is not recorded. It's 30,000. So initial entry wise, you don't have an entry because you only learned of the information come year end na. So no initial entry, but you have an adjusting entry on December 31, assuming calendar year. Since the utility here is still not recorded, it follows that there is no recording yet of the expense related to this utility. So to recognize that, you will have to debit your utilities expense and then credit utilities payable because no payment was made yet. And then just write the amount, 30,000. And that's your adjusting entry. And then let's have this one. Similar to the last one, this does not come with initial entry because you're only given the information come year end. So you will only just have to jump right away to the adjusting entry on December 31, assuming calendar year. Given that the salaries are still not paid, it follows that there is no recording yet of the expense related to salaries. So to adjust, you will have to debit your salaries expense and then credit salaries payable. Not cash because there is no mention of payment yet. Then write the amount. That's your adjusting entry. And that's it for this video.